Welcome to Soundview Community TV. We're coming to you live from Stratford, Connecticut. I am Lourdes Delgado, and here we are to engage, inform, and entertain you. And with that in mind, today we have someone very special. We have Nakia Latang, and Nakia Latang is the Director of Admission for Fairfield University's Bellarmine campus and has worked in college admission for 21 years, including 20 years at Fairfield University. She's a member of the inaugural leadership team that helped launch Fairfield Bellarmine, and she's widely recognized for expanding college access and building pathways for students across Connecticut and beyond. Nakia Latang has served on regional and community boards focused on educational access and equity and was named Fairfield University's 2024 Lucy Katz Person of the Year and the 2026 recipient of the Distinguished Administrator Award from the university's Alumni Association. A lifelong Connecticut resident featured in the New York Times, she remains deeply committed to serving the Bridgeport community, also through her church, mentorship, and advocacy for students. Her inspiration stems from a supportive husband and 4 children. Welcome, Nakia.
Thank you, Lourdes. Excited to be here.
Well, I'm pretty excited that you're here as well. I actually first came to know about Bellarmine maybe about a year and a half ago. I received an invitation. I went to the open house. It was a community open house. And I learned so much that I've been sharing it with everyone. I said, we have to get this on Soundview TV.
Thank you for sharing the good news.
So tell us about this great venture that you are on.
Sure. Yes, so Fairfield Bellarmine has been certainly a passion project for me, and I'm really excited and honored to be a part of this venture that Fairfield University has decided to utilize as truly an investment in the community, in really taking understanding that education is one of the most powerful things we can give to our young people today. And so, more than just community service in our backyard, they wanted to make an impact. And so that's where Fairfield Bellarmine was birthed about 3 years ago. Fairfield Bellarmine serves as a 2-year associate's degree program for targeting families who are coming from lower income backgrounds who have significant need for resources. For many students, college is a barrier. Well, finances is a barrier to college, right? And they can't even imagine how we're going to do this because of cost. But the whole concept around Fairfield Bellarmine is not only do we want to provide students who deserve this a quality education, but we want to be able to take away those barriers, as many barriers as we possibly can, so that these students can thrive and truly blossom and become, as we say, who God intended for them to be in this world. And so our program, we are an extension of Fairfield University. Our students are taking the same courses, a high quality Jesuit education. They're getting that on the Bellarmine campus, but they're doing that within a small supportive environment. Our students who choose Fairfield Bellarmine's campus, they appreciate that we are a smaller campus where they get to know their fellow peers very well. They get to know their professors very well, and they feel like they are a part of a community. Our students will tell you they feel like it is a second home. They feel like it is family there. And so we intentionally foster that type of environment so that students feel safe, but they also feel comfortable to try new things and truly discover what they're passionate about and thrive.
Now, the professors there are the same?
So we do have professors who teach on both campuses, but we do have a set of professors who are hired specifically for the Bellarmine campus.
Okay, all right. So why don't you tell us a little bit, you've brought us a lot of information today.
Sure.
And would you tell us about the majors that are offered at Bellarmine?
Sure. So we know that students will have an opportunity to study a number of things, but what Fairfield Bellarmine has done is put all of those things into 4 categories, all designed by the major schools at Fairfield University's main campus. So our students come to us and they can choose to study areas of business, computer science, health studies, and also liberal studies. And within that, they get the foundation to really go into almost anything that they want to do. It gives them the core courses and the foundation they need to figure out what is it that I'm really passionate about, what is it that I want to do. And after that, many of our students will continue to go on to college after that. And so one of the things, as we talk about kind of pathways and a 2+2 model, we are really a 2+2 model.
Okay, could you please explain what is a 2+2? Because I know 2+2 is 4.
Yeah. Right. I'll show you on the slide here.
Okay.
The 2+2 model is really that students spend their first 2 years with us, and then they complete their last 2 years, which is what you need for a bachelor's. 2 years for an associate's degree, 4 years for a bachelor's degree. So they do their first 2 years with us, but then they continue on. For some of our students, they may decide that 2 years is all that they want to do, and they may decide that a career path, a meaningful career, is what they want to pursue after 2 years, and that is okay. Our program is prepared to prepare students for a meaningful career after that. But many of our students choose that 2+2, where they go on and complete an additional 2 years afterward to complete their bachelor's degree. And our students, again, will choose from a variety of majors because they've had that core foundation of coursework in the first 2 years with us, actually earning an associate's degree.
So let's say if I wanted to become a teacher, would I enroll in the liberal arts program? I'm just asking hypothetical questions because some of our audience may not know.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, so the 2+2 model, and that's in every college experience. You know, the first 2 years is just almost like a review of K to 8, right?
Right.
But then you're getting into your core courses the second 2 years, which is your junior and senior.
So with our students, they'll get that introduction even in their first 2 years. For us, we think it's important to start to introduce those things. You know, I meet many students who say, I want to be a nurse, and this is what I want to do, until they take that first pre-calculus class, right? Or that first calculus class, and they realize they hate math, or they don't like anything to do with the human body or blood, right? Sometimes there's just an unawareness of, you know, what type of coursework and education is needed versus just the things they're doing in that actual job, right? But, you know, the whole idea of, you know, Fairfield as a liberal arts institution is our job is to expose students, right? To introduce them to all of these things. And, you know, if they decide, yes, this is still what I want to do, we've given them all the tools they need to pursue that. But if they decide something else, the hope is that they've discovered something that they didn't even realize they were good at doing, right? Or they realize things they didn't even know existed. They start to see those things and understand that, you know what, I actually might be good at this, and we can give them that exposure and those experiences, and then they can go on and do great things. So
now to qualify, is it primarily income-based?
Yes, so for our program, we really look to serve those families who may not have had an opportunity to pursue college, right? Those students who may think this is not possible for me. We hope to make that possible. So the primary focus is for families who have significant financial needs, so fall in that category of lower income. And certainly because of that, our student body reflects primarily first-generation students underrepresented at colleges across the world, and in our area. We have a beautiful diversity array of students at our campus who represent so many backgrounds, so many languages, so many experiences, and we see that through this beautiful family that we've created at Bellarmine.
So now, is it required that they are first-generation college students? And well, I'll tell you why I'm asking, because I know many families who are would be first generation here, but may have gone to college in the parents in their countries, but they don't. Those credentials aren't valid here. Would they be considered as first generation?
Great question. We don't require that a student is first generation.
Okay. Right.
Really, the focus is more so on families who are lower income and have significant need for resources. Okay. That is our primary focus for the program.
All right. And now, what about the admission process? First of all, I guess what really shocked me was the cost.
Sure.
Tell us about that cost.
Sure. I think that's the piece that that always brings people into shock a little bit. Or I usually get the question is, what's the hoax? What's the trick here? So again, with our intention of removing barriers for families, the actual cost per student is about $16,000 a year. However, for students who are admitted to our program, families will pay only $1,000 a year, $500 a semester for their first 2 years with us.
Wow, $1,000. Wow.
Even more so with that, because with our 2+2 model, many of our students decide that they want to go on to Fairfield University afterward. And so we also offer a Fairfield guarantee that says for students who have successfully completed the Fairfield Bellarmine Associate's degree, they may be considered for additional scholarship afterward to complete their bachelor's at Fairfield. So at least 35 of our students will receive a full tuition scholarship to complete their bachelor's on the main campus. Other students will receive additional scholarship as well if they don't receive the full tuition scholarship.
How many students that recently graduated, or I shouldn't say the last graduating class, how many continued on to Fairfield University?
Sure. So we graduated our first class last year. So exciting. Probably one of the most moving experiences and ceremonies I've been to. And we had about 32 students who graduated in our first class. Within that, 31 of those students are at Fairfield University completing their bachelor's degree.
Out of the 32, 31 went on.
I'm sorry, out of the 33. So 33 students, 31 of those students are at Fairfield University completing their bachelor's degree at this time. One student chose to go to Stanford University in California, and she is completing her degree there. We just heard from her. She's doing great, having a wonderful experience. And then we had another student who chose to go to University of Bridgeport.
Wow, that is 31 out of the 33.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I can just imagine the savings because college is expensive.
Yes, yes it is.
And if parents don't know, they sign for all of those loans and they don't know the difference between subsidized and unsubsidized, and before you know it, you're paying a lot of money.
Sure.
$1,000 a year.
Yeah, yeah. And they're still getting an amazing quality experience that really allows folks to tend to what their needs are, what their interests are. One of the key things that makes our program distinctive is the support that our students are receiving while they're there. In addition to being low cost, we provide a free iPad for our students that comes downloaded with their books so that they don't have to worry about paying for books or getting a computer in the class. They already have that for them. We provide free meals for our students every day that they're with us on campus. We have a free shuttle that picks up from the Bridgeport train station to campus and also goes in between both campuses so the students can take advantage of being involved on both campuses.
So they get to go on to the Fairfield University campus. They're not just on the Bridgeport campus,
correct,
but they are full stag access. That's your.
They are Fairfield students.
Stag. They're automatically They have access to both campuses, and they get to use the library at Fairfield University. Are they able to participate in other activities in the school community at Fairfield U?
Absolutely. We have over 100 clubs and organizations on the main campus, and so our students are a part of that, whether it's the tennis club or the rugby club or the Black Student Union. They are very engaged while also creating clubs even on our own campus. The karaoke club. We started an intramural soccer club with the Bellarmine group. Our Bellarmine Student Association, students who are coming up in leadership opportunities, right? There's lots of ways in which we're providing our students an opportunity to not only enjoy the things that they just enjoy doing, but also have that formation of leadership, right? And truly discover who they are.
So it's really important that parents understand, right? They're on the Bellarmine campus, which, by the way, is located on Boston Avenue, right?
Boston Avenue and Mill Hill, right on the corner.
That's the old St. Ambrose?
Yes.
St. Ambrose
correct.
Church. So it's located there. And do you arrange for tours when parents want to come in and see what's going on?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'd love to have folks come and see the beautiful campus. We, on our website, fairfield.edu/Bellarmine, you can find a visit schedule under the admission tab and choose a day and time that works best. However, if you can't find a time that works best, just simply give us a call or email us, and we're more than happy to accommodate you and show you our campus and show you what we have to offer.
How do the students become aware of this opportunity, or the parents? Because parents have to be involved, obviously, because they're the ones that are paying for this.
Sure.
How are parents and students aware of this opportunity? Because it's fairly new.
Yes, we are very new. We just graduated our first class last year, so we've only been on that campus for about 3 years now. So we are still getting the word out there, and for many families, that's how they've discovered who we are, by word of mouth. However, we are visiting the schools in the fall and spring, working with guidance counselors so that folks can get to know us. And again, we're open for visits, campus visits and tours. We have an open house coming up on March 21st, in which students and families are more than welcome to come and join us. It's called Spring into Bellarmine, and learn about all the great things that are happening on our campus.
So March 21st.
Yes.
At what time is this?
It's going to start around 9 a.m. Students will have an opportunity to actually sit in on some mock classes. So they'll get to meet the professors and experience what a college class is like at Bellarmine, and really experience some really fun projects. Our professors are amazing. They're just very engaging, really interesting. And so I think students will really enjoy that piece. And then they'll also have an opportunity to tour the campus, learn about all the other resources that exist on our campus as well. So it'll be a great day. And we have food too. So
always food. Always have to have food. Yes. Always have to have food. So now, as a parent, the first step I should do is, or even the student, is go to what's website?
We'll say the website, www.fairfield.edu/Bellarmine. Go to the website and explore. Take a look. See if it has some of the things that you're looking for in a college experience.
Wonderful. And now, of the audience, the television audience can ask us any questions. I sure hope if you don't call today that they call you over there at Fairfield Bellarmine. Now, are you usually at that campus, or are you at the Fairfield campus?
I am at the Fairfield Bellarmine campus. That is where my office is located.
All right, so your office is there. So you're really, really connected to Fairfield University in every way, shape, and form.
Absolutely.
If I, as a parent, now I'm looking at this, it's $25 enrollment deposit. So they have to pay a $25 enrollment deposit, which of course is nothing compared to other places, not to mention the tuition.
Sure. Yeah.
What if the students don't declare a major until...
So our students actually will declare a major in their first year. So we will ask them to, when they complete their application, to indicate the major that they want to go into. I think within that first year, students do have a little bit of wiggle room if they're finding, like, you know what, this actually isn't my interest, or if they discover, they've taken a class and they discover something else is their interest, they can work with our dean, sit down with their advisors, and if they need to change their major, they can certainly walk them through that process to help them do that.
Now, you said they get a Chromebook, and all of the books on the Chromebook, they never have a real book, hardcover book?
They have an iPad it's like an iPad Pro, and they have all of their books digitally. Believe it or not, students actually sometimes don't prefer to carry all their books around with them. They can just easily access it. We're in a digital age,
I know. I'm not digital, I'm old, so I get
Well, and I'm sure some still prefer a hardcover book, but we provide it all, so they already have that information wherever they are. They can easily access it whenever they need it.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Do you have to live in Bridgeport to attend Bellarmine?
That's a great question. So we are a commuter campus, simply meaning we don't offer housing for students in those first 2 years. And so it's in a student's best interest to be within a commutable distance. Okay. Currently, we have students who are joining us from anywhere from New Haven down to Stanford, Waterbury, Danbury. So within kind of that 30-mile radius, students are a part of our campus community. And so yes, you don't have to be from Bridgeport, but certainly as long as you're in the local area, you're fine.
Okay, so right now we are this TV station is in Stratford. So if you
Yeah.
live in Stratford, you can commute.
Yeah, we have students from Stratford.
What if
Yeah.
students have cars? Is there parking for them?
There is parking. We have a designated student parking lot that is just a block away from the campus, a 2-minute walk from the
Okay.
main campus. Yep.
All right. What do you feel is the most beneficial asset for students and parents to attend Bellarmine?
That's a great question. I think that, the most important thing for a student when you're thinking about college and where you want to be is I always tell students, make a list and write down, if you could create a dream college, what would it be, right? And I always have them make a list. And so most of the time, those are things that they want, but not necessarily the things that they need, right? But I think what students appreciate about the Bellarmine experience is that it has everything that they need, and they get to do that within an environment that is safe, that celebrates who they are, and with people who truly care about their growth, their well-being, beyond just being a good student, right? We are looking holistically at the whole student. And whether it's, you need breakfast so that you can truly show up and thrive in the classroom, or you don't have gas money to get to campus, right? We look at all the things that may be impacting a student's ability to show up and be their best selves. And we want to provide that support so that students, again, when they get there, they feel safe, they feel comfortable, and they can thrive, and focus on truly being their best selves in the classroom.
I don't know if you would know this offhand, but what are the majority of the majors that students select when they go to Bellarmine?
That's a great question. Our students, it's a wide variety.
Okay.
So we certainly have lots of interest in business and things like accounting and finance. Certainly for computer science, that is the pathway. And so we certainly have interest in the computer science field. With health studies, students who are interested in nursing, but we certainly see social work as an interest as well. And students can certainly do public health with that program as well. And then we have a liberal studies program, which really opens up a variety of options. And so everything from psychology to education, biology, students who are thinking about the pre-med track and health-related things in that way. We see majors like journalism. We see there's so many things that students can choose from.
So it's really everything that they're offering. All of the majors. Is it all the majors they offer at the Fairfield campus?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So then, what's the difference?
It's about what a student needs, right, to thrive. And the students that choose us, one, affordability is a really important piece of the picture. But also they're looking for that smaller environment that provides a lot of support. Many of our students are, they're not necessarily looking to jump into the living on campus experience maybe in their first years, but they're okay with maybe waiting to their junior and senior year. Some of our students who receive that Fairfield Guaranteed Scholarship will receive a scholarship to live on campus. About 15 of those students will receive a scholarship to live on campus in their junior and senior year.
Wow. And I mean, all research shows a lot of the kids aren't developmentally ready to go off away to college. They're just not developmentally ready. So I think having the comfort of being home, and the good thing is that they're there at the campus. Right. So they're away from home, but they're at the building all day. Correct. Which is still like they're out. I mean, they're at school. Yeah. It still gives them that opportunity to start becoming engaged and also being self-disciplined. Yes, because absolutely. The difference between college and regular high school is that, they're not on top of you all the time. You've got to do it, and you've got to do it. And I just think this is wonderful. Yeah. And the application process, how long does it usually take?
Great question. So it is a free application that students can access right from our website at fairfield.edu/Bellarmine. And with that free application, once students have submitted the application, we'll ask the schools to send us their high school transcript, a recommendation letter. They'll complete their essay with that application as well. And then once we've received all of the materials in the application, it's only about a 2-week turnaround, really? 7 to 14 days that gives us to review the application and get a decision back. Oftentimes we will also ask students to do an interview as well. While it's not required, it is a really important piece because we want to get to know that student, but we also want the students to get to know us as well, so that they know that this is the right fit for them in the same way. So we'll often ask for an interview before we render a decision to a student. And then, and after that, a student, once they get their decision, they have until June 1st to lock in their spot.
June 1st?
They have until June 1st. However, once it's until seats are filled, right? And so we typically tell students, even though we're rolling admission and you have time, if you know this is what you want, lock in your spot. It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, because once the seats are filled, the seats are filled.
Correct.
Doesn't matter how great your scores are,
Right.
how good a personality you have, or
Right.
how much need you have in terms of income. No space is no space.
That is correct.
So
that is correct.
don't procrastinate. If you're interested, get on it right away.
And utilize resources, right? Talk to your
Yes.
counselors. And certainly we're here as well to help students walk through the process. We know it's a big decision, right? And there's a lot of factors to consider. And we understand that. We're happy to walk families through this process and through the journey.
Someone told me that they did not think this program was good because they felt that it's a community college. So tell me, what's your response to that?
Yeah, sure. Well, we are a 2-year program in every sense of the word, right? However, I think what students appreciate about us is there is a lot of support, right? There's a lot of support, and it feels like a college campus, more so than maybe just a community college.
Nothing around community. I
Nothing
went to
at all.
community college myself. Okay.
We are partners in this work,
Right.
right?
Right.
And so we certainly advocate, and oftentimes we may recommend that community college might be a better fit for a student depending on what they're looking for. So certainly partners in this mission of education. But for our students, they're taking a Fairfield education at the Bridgeport campus, right? And so they are getting all of the benefits, right? And all of the resources that come with the Fairfield education, and they're getting that in the Bellarmine College experience. And so, for many students, it doesn't feel like community college. It feels like they are simply at college, right? Where they have engaged professors in coursework that is very challenging. The level of coursework, it remains the same for our students on both campuses. And so, more than just community college, they're a part of a true family and a rigorous college that has an amazing reputation.
Plus, they have full access to the Fairfield
Absolutely.
University campus
the best of
in
both
Fairfield,
worlds.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
So it's like a no-brainer.
Absolutely.
Do you see more and more applicants now because you've been in a couple of years? I know in the beginning, a lot of people really didn't know about it. I'm hearing more. The reason I'm mentioning that is because if the seats get filled and more people hear about it, there's going to be less opportunity.
Sure, we're growing. We are growing and seeing more interest every year at Bellarmine. And so, yes, those numbers are growing. But, as our executive director at the campus says, we're in the business of admitting, not denying students. And so, for students who are fit for the program and who have shown that they are capable, we want to admit students. And
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
Well, I guess if any of our audience, any members in our audience are interested, it would be a good idea for them to contact you as soon as possible.
Yes, we'd love
because the deadline is there. So it's rolling admission, but the school year, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because it's a rolling admission. However, they want to get in there as soon as possible, especially as their school year begins to close.
Correct.
Because we're already, in the spring? So
Yep,
okay.
June 1st, we want to be able to
Wonderful.
lock in the class so that they can start orientation in June, and then our classes actually start in the summer session in July.
Wonderful. Nakia, I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much. And until next time, here at soundviewtv.org, Connecticut at your service. See you soon.